I'm no stranger to Ruroc. I've spent time with their top bosses, toured their test site, and reviewed their old helmets. Fast forward 12 months and I'm still riding with the latest, the EOS. I had my doubts after the Atlas 4.0, and so did a lot of you. But this one felt different, more refined, more grown up. And after a full year riding with it, I know exactly where it shines and where it falls short. That's because, unlike most reviews, I don't just unbox it, stroke the liner and recite the spec sheet. I live with it and reflect on it later. And now, with a bit more influence, a bit more mileage and a bit more brain damage, they've handed me the EOS. So let's see what's actually improved. Let's start with the bit that sells the helmet before you've even picked it up, the design. Because love it or hate it, Ruroc has never done subtle. The EOS still has that signature Ruroc fighter jet DNA. It's loud, it's bold, and it's not afraid of attention. But, and here's the good bit, this time they've toned it down a little. It's still unmistakably Ruroc, but it's like the helmet finally stopped vaping and got a job. Gone are the weird semi-functional vents and those, wait, is this meant to be like that, gaps near the chin. The whole finish is more refined, more grown up, and the new shockwave unit being positioned on the side just makes so much more sense, even if it is still impossible to work out what button you're pressing. Fit and finish is just genuinely better, and you'd hope so. It's still a premium helmet, and it's still priced like one, but for the first time it feels premium too, and that makes a massive difference when you're going up against industry giants like Arai and Shui. They may still sit on the throne, but Ruroc is finally knocking at the door. This is the biggest upgrade, no question. The interior on the EOS is a revelation compared to the older models. Plush, breathable, and genuinely all-day wearable. Gone is the weird cheek pressure I had on the 4.0. The EOS breaks in faster, hugs the right places, and just works. The liner's still removable and washable, and after a year of use, mine's held up surprisingly well. Weight-wise, it's not the lightest helmet in the world, but it is balanced. That's the price you pay for more safety. It doesn't strain your neck at motorway speeds. The shell shape cuts through wind better than expected. Is it the quietest helmet I've worn? No. But it's quieter than the 4.0, and definitely quiet enough for Bluetooth audio and phone calls without shouting like a lunatic. On hot days it vents decently. On cold days it keeps most of the wind off your ears. Most. It's not shooey quiet. It's not hear your soul questioning your life choices quiet. But it's quiet enough that you don't feel like you're stuck in a Zoom meeting with a hairdryer anymore. They've reworked the chin vent, sealed off a few unwanted air leaks, and genuinely seem to have fixed the whistle that plagued earlier versions. I still wear earplugs on longer rides, but it's no longer a deal breaker. Marketing tells you it's built like a tank, but what actually happens when you're the one sliding across the tarmac? Let's talk what really matters. The EOS is fully ECE 22.06 certified. If you're not a helmet nerd, just know this, it's the toughest road standard in Europe right now. Inside you've still got the Rheon impact liner, that weird science custard that hardens on impact. It feels like nothing when you wear it, but in a crash, it kicks in. And this is normally where the YouTube review of safety ends, but I've been backstage at Ruroc. I've witnessed them testing their helmets to destruction. I've had their safety specs explained to me, and whilst most of it sounded like Klingon, it tells me an inescapable fact. Ruroc really cares about making these things as safe as they can. And while I obviously haven't binned it to test that, I've crashed enough bikes for one lifetime, thank you, the lab results are real, and the helmet's got the credentials to back it up. A Ruroc helmet doesn't just look safe, it actually is. Now there's a difference between looking cool in the helmet and actually seeing out of it. The EOS continues the massive windscreen field of view from the Atlas range, minimizing blind spots and making it easier to see. Ruroc have included a pin-lock anti-fog visor as standard, which was one of my biggest complaints on the previous helmet, so that's a huge win. It's reliable, easy to fit, and helps keep your vision crystal clear even in damp or cold conditions. Swapping visors is easier too thanks to the new quick release visor pin system. I'll be honest, at first I felt like I was going to snap the visor because the mechanism feels a little fiddly and stiff, but once you get the hang of it, it's smooth, fast and tool free. A big plus for riders who swap between tinted and clear lenses often, like I do. That said, the trade-off is the visor ratchet system. It just feels awkward. It's built to be durable, but I can feel the visor flexing as I open and close it, which I can't remember the 4.0 doing. In bright sunlight, the visors handle glare well, and the helmet's eye port shape helps reduce peripheral distortion, so your eyes don't have to work overtime to adjust, a real comfort factor on longer rides. This wasn't an area that needed a lot of improvement. The 4.0 was already really good, but they found a way to make a tweak here and there to continue learning and improving. Now let's talk about the thing no one wants to say on camera, Ruroc's reputation. It's no secret this brand has had its fair share of criticism, particularly around build quality and manufacturing origin. Yes, Ruroc helmets are made in China, and some riders flinch at that, but here's what you need to know. Quality control is not left to chance. I toured their Gloucester facility and saw firsthand the rigorous quality control processes they put all their helmets through. This isn't a factory pumping out cheap knockoffs, it's a highly controlled operation where they check helmets that meet their standards before they're sent to the end user. If they spot a defect, it just simply doesn't get shipped out. And let's be honest, almost every company has manufacturing roots in China these days, whether they admit it or not. What matters is how and where the final assembly and quality checks happen, and Ruroc nails that right here in the UK or US bases. Some critics also point to past Ruroc helmets having inconsistent fit and finish. I won't deny that early models had their issues, but EOS shows real growth and maturity. It feels like the product of serious engineering and rider feedback, not just marketing hype. The bottom line is, Ruroc's past controversies mostly stem from early growing pains and online noise. What I saw and experienced suggests a brand that's learned, adapted, and is finally playing in the same league. They don't have the advantage of decades of refinement like Arai and Shui, but if you look at where they were to where they are now, you can see a brand hell-bent on proving itself. So where does this leave us? The Ruroc EOS is the helmet we always hoped they'd build. It's safer, more comfortable, less shouty, and more refined. It still has a few quirks, a few plasticky leftovers from their early days, but the core of it, solid, trustworthy, usable. Is it worth your money? If you're chasing the ultimate quiet or the highest pedigree in the game, you'll still find better from the Japanese giants. But if you want something unique, that now, finally, doesn't come with compromises on comfort or protection, the EOS makes a damn good case for itself as a valid option for premium helmets. At the end of the day, a helmet isn't just gear. It's a promise. A promise that someone, somewhere, cared enough to make sure you came home safe.